Hey, welcome back to another episode of the She's Making an Impact podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Ngom, and I am so excited today to bring you some on air coaching. So, this is something that we do with our Activate students to give them just more personal attention, more coaching. They get my feedback on their business, and you have the opportunity to listen in on that conversation and see how I will coach them. So, Activate is our 12-month coaching program where I'm helping our entrepreneurs really create a business from the ground up that's giving them time freedom, location freedom, and all the amazing things that come with it. Today we have Miss Tina Davis. I'm so excited that you are here. How are you, darling?
I'm good. Thank you.
I'm so excited. Thank you for your patience as I'm trying to figure out, audio. And I'm like, I swear I've been doing this for years. Yes. So Tina, tell us a little bit what you do.
Sure. Um, I just recently started this business, and what I do is I help women entrepreneurs create a powerful brand online that generates more income. So I focus on women with online businesses and really target their strategy and mindset around their brand.
Cool. How can I support you today?
Okay. So I'm in Activate since May, and so I've been going through the steps, and I've got some things built up, and I have some questions that I put together for this call. This past week, so I do things in spurts because I am working full time still, and I don't plan on leaving until my retirement, which is just in 5 years. So I just did my product suite, and so most of these questions will be around that. But in the last week, I did do my LLC, got my insurance, I already had my legal stuff worked out from the recommendations through Activate. And I did hire a virtual assistant. So she's helping with the email sequence and the nurture stuff so that can get us moving.
Awesome.
The launch is October 1st, so I have to move, right?
Yep.
So in getting prepared for that, the questions I have, and the call we just did was the webinar training. And so this was where I was going. So my first offer, I don't have a course yet. I don't have an email list. I'm at zero, like less than zero. I think I might be the only one on it. So we're going to have to start somewhere. Yep. And I'm leaning towards one, but it's either a challenge or a webinar. Okay. And what is your personal opinion and experience on kicking off? Is it challenge or webinar?
They're both great. I think a webinar is easier. There's less moving pieces. You show up once for an hour and a half, and then, you're done. Whereas a challenge, it's definitely a lot more intense. You're showing up every day for 5 days, sometimes 6 days. So I think when you're just starting out, I would do webinar, and then you could do a challenge next time.
Okay. Because it's, trying to gain like an email list, I'm not going to have anything coming in. Should I offer on my first round any kind of VIP? Yeah.
Okay. I would. Yeah. So you're launching your course. So you could have a course and then have a VIP offer where, your course, do you know what price point you're selling your course for?
Well, I have in my suite what my range will be, and so for those the higher ticket courses will be $147 to $19.97.
Got it.
And that's not my upper tier, but that's my course tier. Yeah. But the webinars are nothing except the VIP part.
Yeah. So you have your course, and then you could have a VIP option, and the VIP could be anywhere from $9.97 to $19.97.
Okay. Yep. Okay. And because I need that feedback, right? That immediate feedback from those webinars. I have 2 ebooks already done, even the graphics, they're just sitting. And since it cost me nothing, my thought was do the webinar, and instead of giving that up front, give the printables up front, but give that as the thank you for going through the end and providing a survey.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Yeah. It could be a bonus of like you stay to the end, you get access to this specific bonus. Stay to the end and do a survey. You get that bonus.
Okay.
I like it.
They're free to me. They're done. I've already have them on the shelf. And they can be part of bonuses later because they're completed books. But okay. My product suite will eventually like in the last call, it was as you grow your 2 clients and you can, increase the price, right? As you grow and develop. But I'm hearing different things on, when to offer a payment plan. And I know you just said, listen to your audience.
Yep.
I don't do a lot of payment plans personally. Like I don't opt into payment plans because I feel like I just want it done and I want to be responsible for what I owe. And I don't like the what if, right? Like what if I can't do it next month?
Right.
But is that something that's widely done on like a branding type of, this isn't a product base. This is something that they would have access to everything up front, but I could miss out on the finish, paying off.
So you can offer a payment plan. This is one of the things, like I listen to my audience, so I remember that it was like the first challenge I did for Pin with Purpose, and either we didn't have a payment plan or the payment plan was too high. And I just had people like, I really want to do it, but I can't. Like, is there any way you could make this more accessible? And I was just like, I want to help you. I want to help as many people as I can. So I made the payment plan more accessible so more people could jump in. It could be something that you offer as like a downsell. So maybe cart closes or the last day of cart open, you're like, hey, this is what we're offering. Like, jump in if price has been holding you back. So, I mean, you have different options there. I do want you to offer a pay in full bonus to incentivize, and the payment plan is always more, like when you add it up, it's always going to be more than the pay in full. So you want to incentivize people to pay in full for sure, because you're never going to collect 100% of the payment plans ever. So incentivize that, but you can offer it to help people really get started.
Okay, thank you. So the way I operate and my strategy is not as delicate and soft, right? I am not struggling, but I am a little concerned with my approach, not because I don't have the niche, the customers and the target audience is out there, but my next step is to understand, how do you approve every candidate that wants to come through the door? I'm very much like, let's get to work, girl. Like if you're not ready for constructive feedback, you're probably not ready for entrepreneur. I'm very strong there.
Yeah.
What is your advice or your experience on just, this might not be for you?
That comes with your messaging. Like you literally say that on the webinar. Like, this may or may not be for you. Like, this is for you if XYZ. This is not for you if. Like, when you joined Activate, I was pretty clear. Like, if you want something to be like, do no work, show up and make money, this isn't for you. Like, you're going to have to show up and do the work, right? So you want to be clear. You want to attract the right people to you and repel the wrong people.
Okay. Yeah. In my market research, I get a lot of the folks that, you get interest because you're new and they're like, oh yeah, let me see what you can do. And they're just not ready. They're full of roadblocks. And I'm each one I'm giving a different answer. So I just need to make it part of my full spiel and upfront.
Yep.
I appreciate the input, but this is not going to be for you right now. It's what I'm going through. It'll be more of my before the webinar even starts, or maybe before you sign up.
Yeah. So, I mean, in our webinar, I'm very clear. This is for you if. So it's even like before I get to any pitch or anything, like this webinar is for you if you want X, Y, and Z. This is not for you if X, Y, Z. So it's very clear, like, all right, do you resonate with me? Like, if not, you can go. Like, I love you and I'm going to release you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's where I'm sitting the most. I get a little bit of information from their market research, and then it's like, we're not going to be able to continue. But market research is market research. I'll take it.
Yep.
The area that I haven't spent any time on at all is a Facebook group. I mean, other than taking the bonus course, reviewing it. The Facebook group is, I think, my next biggest step, other than putting the webinar together. In that group, it's private, but what's the best way for me I know the group because of the Christina John Dollar, you gave the training. I saw you use the group to get the email, and you use the email to get the group. I got it.
Yep.
But what's the best way to get the group going other than the social links and stuff? Is it advertising, or is it?
We never advertised for our group. But like one of the best things you could do is when you do decide to do a webinar, a challenge, you could actually do it inside your Facebook group.
Yeah.
And so that's incentivizing. Like whenever we do a challenge, we always do it inside the Facebook group, and that's incentivizing people to join.
Okay.
Yep.
And every sign up, send them the link as well. Like as the process of getting the freebie or the process of getting whatever it is they're signing up for, always include the link or part of the email response.
Yep. So maybe they sign up for your free thing, your freebie. On the thank you page, hey, like, thanks so much for downloading this freebie. Make sure to join our Facebook group where you'll connect with whoever is in that Facebook group and what they're going to learn, like what's in it for them.
Okay. My next question, and I'm going through these very, very quickly because that's how I usually operate, and then I'm going to be like stuck here. But I don't have a course built out. I have it drafted, and it's well drafted, but it's not anywhere near ready to go. But the mini offers, I can kick off. What is the best amount of, I'm going to have to spend time. How long can I go between the mini offers and building up to when the course launches? Because it's going to be some time. What is that expiration? Is there in historic, is there like a, whoops, I didn't make that window. It should have been within X amount of days, but
no.
Okay.
But I mean, we want you making money as quickly as possible. And so we want you creating your offer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your offer on the webinar going to be?
The offer on the webinar would be the next highest tier, which would be the first set of courses. It won't be the year-long type product. It'll be the courses that'll go over the 3 pillars for my brand. It's just success mindset, brand makeover, and then strategy mindset. So that's a pretty significant course.
Yeah.
Pieces of it can be smaller mini courses, maybe even a lesson in a module could be the webinar, because I need to milk all of my repurpose as I can. But it will be in that 1,000 to 2,000 range for the course.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, there's no expiration. If you're selling it on the webinar, then you're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'll be like 30 days away from the webinar is what my concern was. Is that too far away?
Okay. So the webinar is what we're using to sell the course. So what you want to do is you're selling the course, have module 1 ready. Module 1 is ready, and then you create the rest of the course with them. So you get them started with module 1, and then you let them know every week I'm dropping a new module. So we're going through it together. And
I can stretch that out like even 2 weeks. What's the longest? Okay, because modules can be dropped. I don't know exactly how many there will be. I think 3 per pillar, but I don't want to run it 9 weeks. But I could stretch it more than a week.
Totally.
Okay.
Yep.
It's going to be the first round anyway, and then record them and cut them up and make them evergreen for later or to follow back up on.
Yep.
Okay. I've been going through a lot of this just kind of piece by piece and really going through what my content looks like. But as far as what to ask here, it's just sort of, you go blank. Even though I have everything written down and I've asked them all, I just sort of, this is what I do. I feel good about the plan. Imposter syndrome sets in for everybody, but luckily that's what I'm going to be doing. So I can walk myself back on that. I am just starting out with everything outside of corporate. So this is my first, other than fishing lures and a company we had for 10 years, this is the first time that's me on my own out here. Yeah. So my getting started steps are maybe a little lower than they should be. And I know we're not going pie in the sky, but we're getting out there, get money coming in, right? Yep. So I probably stalled out a little longer than I should have to get this far.
Don't worry. Like we all go at our own pace. Some of us are working full time. Some of us have 5 kids. Yeah, like we all have our own journey. So don't compare where you are to anyone else. You're exactly where you're supposed to be right now.
So in the world of podcasts, because I'm newer, becoming a guest on podcasts would be obviously more beneficial than kicking off my own, I think, because I don't have much to go on yet. I will be repurposing all of my blogs into podcast audio and video, right? What is another way other than our Activate group of getting out to those podcasts to offer as a guest? Are there forms? Are there processes?
Have you gone through the media and publicity module inside of Activate?
Yes.
Okay, so in there, it's literally step by step.
Okay.
So go through it again, because maybe you went through it like a couple months ago. Go through it again, because if you went through it before you were at that step,
yeah,
it probably didn't resonate with you. But now you're at that step, and now you'll go through it and be like, aha, now this is what I need to do. So go through it again, and it's very much step by step. This is what you need to do to start pitching. This is like the pitch template. This, like, all of it. So it's all right there. And so go through that, and then if you have questions, obviously just tag me or ask us in the group.
Sure. I remember the guest and the podcast, on fire and that, but the rest is blank. I'll go through. I do a lot of your modules multiple times.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I've seen the content one or your mindset ones just over and over. I'm probably the 3,000 views just myself. But they're
I love that. Repetition is the mother of skill. So like that's very, very powerful that you're doing it. I love it.
Oh, good. Thank you. Because I will probably watch them. I know you re-record, and so I want to go back and watch all of those again.
Yep.
For my questions, we went over so much in the call just earlier on webinar, because that was what my focus was. I had heard you use the term boxer, but I had not heard the benefits until then. So I researched it off the call. And then for the webinar tools, I know Webinar Gen has a cost. I haven't looked much of that up, but is Zoom something I could use initially?
Yes.
Okay. Because
definitely.
Zoom has good recording,
yep,
but maybe not something long term.
You could even do your webinar inside of a Facebook group.
Just live.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just depends on your budget.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you mentioned 60 to 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And okay. That is the extra 30 of the 90 is the VIP, or is that 90 and then the VIP time also?
So it's like 60 minutes of content. You want to think like buffer in questions too. So they might have questions that might go extra, right? So it's typically like I would say the first 45 minutes of my webinar is content, and then 10 minutes or so might be the offer, and then Q&A after that.
Okay. Okay. And then if I did extend to a VIP, once I've established, that's a good time for the guest speaker or elaborating on the offer or making it about them. What's the best way to use on the mini offer that's driving to the course? What's the best way to use the VIP time?
So for a challenge or a webinar?
Webinar.
We don't do VIP for a webinar.
Okay, only in the courses.
Yeah, so on the webinar, you sell your course, and you could have two options. It could be DIY or VIP, right? So DIY, they're getting the course. VIP, they're getting some form of extra bonus. So it's not necessarily like you going extra on that webinar. It's maybe they're getting like a month of private coaching with you, or they're getting to attend a live event with you, or they're getting Voxer access with you, or they're getting some sort of special bonus, right? So it's something that's going to set it apart where it's like, ooh, this is awesome.
Okay. So the extra on the webinar would be getting into the Facebook group or...
So the webinar itself, it's free, right? Right. So there is no VIP on the webinar. It's a free webinar. And then on the webinar, you make the offer for your program. You might be confusing it with the challenge, because the challenge we've done free and VIP, and then we do extra like VIP stuff. We've never done that for a webinar.
So I'm just concerned about the folks that don't convert during the webinar. How do I keep them engaged? And that's the email sequence, obviously, but the Facebook group too.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying. I know the conversion is going to be low. My list is going to be 5, right? So it's going to be pretty low at first, and so keeping them engaged is going to be my next concern, and that would be email and Facebook, and that's how I'm trying to keep them, so that when I do launch the course, they also see it versus what they would have seen on the webinar. And maybe you have bonuses Maybe there's more bonuses if you sign up right after the webinar, but if later, the bonus.
If you sign up, do a 15-minute bonus. So you sign up during the next 15 minutes, you're going to get access to this bonus. And that's like where the Q&A comes in. So you do the webinar. Right before you do your webinar, like that week, go back and rewatch the webinar module too, because then it'll hit you differently, right? So you'll like make the offer, and the next 15 minutes, I'm going to give you access to this specific bonus when you jump in the next 15 minutes. So give people an incentive to actually take action. Because when they get off and they think about it and they're like, maybe I'll change my mind, I'm not sure. And they get in their head.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's making more sense.
I want to make sure too that you're going to host a collaborative event to help you grow your email list the next time. Yes. Okay, good.
Yeah. I'm excited about being able to do that, and hoping that during the summit in January, that the retreat, sorry, that I meet others that we can group up with too, right? So that would be a good second option. Between now and do one and then do another one after we get to know more folks.
For sure. But I mean, I reach out to people on Instagram. So if there's people that I listen to their podcast, I follow them, I just send them a message on Instagram and I might invite them. That's another reason when you are ready to have your own podcast, we go back and we invite all of our speakers from our podcast. Hey, like we're doing this event. We would love you to be a part of it. Are you interested?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's in, I keep looking up on my product suite. It's in there. It's listed. I'm just not there yet, but I have the rest of this week to make it get there.
Yeah, you're doing awesome.
Doing messy action for sure. I really don't know what else to ask. I feel good with my coach. She is so good, Stephanie and Ferreira, and we, she keeps me. We do accountability, so I like that accountability. We have accountability in our little Facebook chat. That you asked us to set up when we first activated. And then, of course, the Activate group. I get everything answered so quickly. It's hard to come up with more for coaching. I'm not ready to price anything, but I listened to all of your other feedback on pricing, so I'm comfortable with it. I just need to put the pieces together and determine where it falls.
Yeah.
So I feel pretty good.
Cool. Well, I'm happy to hear that you're doing such a good job, and you are such a joy to have inside of Activate. Like everyone raves about you because you're so generous and you're a giver and you're always in there encouraging people. So I love having you in the program. Thank you for being you. Where can people connect with you?
They can find me at gettoworkgirl.com. I set that up recently, so if you're going to go in there, you can check everything out. But if you click the freebie, give me a minute, because messy action means I've got to send it to you outside of a campaign. That doesn't hit until the end of the week.
Amazing. Well, Tina, you're amazing. I'm so proud of you. And remember that the best is yet to come. I can't wait to see what you create over the next couple of months.
Thank you.